I am Dr. Lamont Repollet, President of Kean University, and I'm proud to be a part of this beautiful, diverse community. Today we come together to recognize, reflect on, and celebrate Asian American and Pacific Islander Heritage Month. If you're thinking that our celebration is a little early, you're right. AAPI Heritage Month is celebrated nationally in May. But since most of our students, faculty, and staff will not be with us after the semester ends in early May, we didn't want to miss the chance to fully honor the far-reaching contributions of Americans that are of Asian and Pacific Island descent. We are here to recognize the lived experiences of the AAPI community throughout our nation's history, their important place within our current society, and the key role they play in our nation's future. As Americans, we have the distinct privilege to witness and benefit from the leadership of the United States Vice President Kamala Harris. She is the first female to ever serve in that role and the highest ranking female official in U.S. history. She's also the first African American and, yes, the first Asian American Vice President. Vice President Harris is one of many Asian American and Pacific Islanders whose accomplishments have and continue to affect change and pave the way for others in the community to be heard and seen. The contributions of the AAPI community are so vast and stretched into so many corners of our society that it would be impossible to highlight even a small portion of them here. But there is one individual whose accomplishments have special meaning here at Kean, where we say cougars climb higher. I want all of you to Google search for Junko Tabei. She was a Japanese mountaineer, the first woman to reach the top of Mount Everest, and the first woman to climb the highest peak on every continent. She was also a teacher. Her accomplishments made her a legend. As we climb higher, we can learn a lot from her persistence and her strength. Climbing higher also requires us to look at the big picture and to find empathy and solidarity with people from all cultures. This year especially, that means acknowledging that our Asian American and Pacific Islander brothers and sisters across the United States and the world are experiencing a horrific and heartbreaking surge in violence against them, simply because of their race. We must commit ourselves to stop Asian hate. It is our responsibility to condemn these hurtful acts and create lasting social change in our classrooms and our communities and at every intersection of our lives to help rectify the racial inequalities in our society. As your president and as a campus community, we have no tolerance towards these behaviors. Kean University strives to lead our community with the focus on representation and inclusion, ensuring that we all deliver on our promise of accessibility and opportunity for all students, faculty, and staff. And we encourage each and every one of you to condemn the hate shown against members of the AAPI community. The national theme of this year's AAPI Heritage Month is Advancing Leaders Through Purpose-Driven Service. Together and only together, we can create lasting social change. Thank you for your commitment to equity and inclusion during Asian American and Pacific Islander Heritage Month, and always. Remember to take advantage of the campus-wide resources and sign up for the events scheduled throughout the month. I would like to conclude my remarks by reading a proclamation declaring this April Asian American and Pacific Islander Heritage Month here at Kean University. Whereas, since its establishment in 2009, Asian American and Pacific Islander Heritage Month has long been a time for all Americans to honor the striking but often underemphasized accomplishments of Asian American and Pacific Islanders. We acknowledge their endeavors throughout our nation's history and an important role they play in our nation's future, led by United States Vice President Kamala Harris, among others. Whereas a community, Kean University dutifully and proudly continues this tradition, introducing an energetic celebration of the immense contributions of Americans that are of Asian and Pacific Island descent. And whereas this year, in synchronization with the national theme of advancing leaders through purpose-driven service, as community and campus body of students, faculty, and staff, we demonstrate our commitment to the principles of diverse and equitable inclusion with campus-wide resources, club, and events scheduled throughout the month. We stand up against hate shown against members of the AAPI community this past year and encourage all members of our community to show their solidarity in this effort each and every day. Whereas Kean University strives to lead our community with the focus on representation and inclusion, ensuring that we deliver on our promise of accessibility and opportunity for students, faculty, and staff as we continue our desire to climb higher. Now therefore be it resolved, through this Heritage Month is nationally recognized in May, the majority of our students, faculty, and staff will be home for the academic year. So in the spirit of inclusion, Kean University hereby proclaims the month of April 2021 as Asian American and Pacific Islander Heritage Month. The university recommits to educating, celebrating, and empowering the Asian American and Pacific Islander community and having a no-tolerance stance toward the increasing acts of violence against them, not just this month, but every day thereafter. Thank you.